Well, hello there, Commonwealth. This is Great Grandpa Gamer. Today we're going to fit a square peg in a round hole. You ever tried to build circles in the Commonwealth? Everything's geared for rectangles and squares. Let's build some circles. We're going to build circular walls using those white picket fences for starters, and then we'll build circular floors. We're going to do some cool things today. So I started off with an L shape and one centralized fence post. That one fence post will never move. I'm going to keep rotating that thing around. And when I rotate it, I'll attach a piece of fence to it to help guide the location of the next one. So look, I just rotate that thing a little bit. I place a fence rail as close to in between the thing as I can. Add another fence post and cement it down with another fence rail. And I will keep on rotating that one fence post in place and dividing in half until I have 17 pieces. In other words, I keep dividing by 2. It's actually going to make 64 pieces. Because you don't count one of the end ones. That's our goal, to make 16, 1/4 of a fence. From that 1/4 of a fence, we're going to be able to make an entire fence. Now I'll tell you that I cut out an awful lot of this video of me trying to find a way to do this perfect. I don't have it for you. Not yet. Maybe never. But if I find a way to do this perfectly, where there's exact, consistent gaps in between every one of the fence posts, I will share it the first moment I can. In the meantime, we're going to go for good enough. I hope that'll work for you. Okay, so once I have my 17 pieces down, I put another short rail on there, and then I'll put the fence post proper in there. There, you see them? That is 1/4 of a wall. Now here's the part you didn't see, is me adjusting all the rails to make that 1/4 wall perfect, and I never got there. So I skipped all of that stuff. So we're going to take our 16 rails that we left, and we're going to use them to create the other 3 sides. So basically we extend from those fence rails we put on the sides back to the center, snap the center back on, and then do 4 different directions. Yep, the original rails are our snapping guide. And all of this is us just placing the other 3 rails on the other 3 coordinates. There we go. And this guy, I wanted to kill him so bad. He was right in the middle of everything I was doing. I had to fast travel away about 15 times. Okay, we're getting close. There, we made it. You're never going to guess what's going to happen. After all that work, we get to the triumphant moment of creating our first template. I run out of settlement space. Had to go clear some space. All right, let's try that again. This, my friends, is our first template. And a viable fence. It is a viable wall. Now, to get out of there, I just group select a chunk of it. Notice I didn't get everything. All right, let's delete all those original pieces that helped us set up our template. We don't need those anymore now that we have our template. So we're going to make two templates, a small one and a big one. The big one will help us make the small curved walls. The small curved walls will help us make this. That's exactly what I mean on my next video. So let's go ahead and finish this thing up. That is looking cool. That I love the way that looks. This is the second template and an official curved wall. And what are you doing in the middle of my build?
This unit is ready to serve.
Actually, I'll be back later.
Confirmed.
You won't be back later. You're getting scrapped, Bubba. Okay, let's see if we can let you out of there. Look at that thing. Look, it's a piece of art. You know, we could leave it like this. It is really cool looking. And you know me, I just call it a UFO and just plant it right in the middle of the sky. But honestly, I want to make some more curved walls out of this. So I'm going to need to set it down and clean it up. As much as I'd like to keep this. Okay, I really think it'd be easier if I got inside to delete some of these fence rails. Let's delete a few of them. There we go. Now if I could just sneak inside there by doing a group select. Yep. And then release. That was my Homer Simpson moment. Oh! I was supposed to release, not place. Okay, let's try that again. Let me put it back where it was, though. Okay, group select. Move forward. Release. There. Okay. So the inside circle is a template to make the outside circle. The outside circle is a template to make the inside circle. Make sense? I hope so. Because we're going to make a round floor now. Off we go. I've got some space at Starlight. So we're going to make us a round floor. It's a little easier if I start off with an elevated floor, so the foundation piece. And I'm just going to make a plus sign. 4 big squares, excuse me, out of the big squares. I'm a little bit close to some other things here, so let's move it real quick. Okay, those are 4 ends to our curved floor. They stay there. This center foundation will only rotate, just using the rotate button, just like we did with that fence post. We're doing it with this. And I'm going to put a guide in here to help me aim, well, as close to perfect as I can. That right there provided me a center line. If I put a conduit right in the center, it should be a fantastic pointer. And we're going to get it as close to center as possible. So we'll even check it across to another dividing line. That's not quite dead center. Let's try to get it just a little bit better. Which side did that snap to? They were so close together. Yeah, I had to move this. See, it snapped to the wrong side. That looks like it's almost centered. And we're going to use that for our pointer. All right, we can get rid of our little short pieces now. They've served their purpose. Short pieces as in the small floor pieces. Let's keep the conduit up there. Okay, there's my pointer. Now I want to build out to the corner. You'll see why in just a second. And we're going to rotate that center foundation, group selecting it, with the conduit on top. If I can point that conduit straight into the corner, right there at the bottom of the screen, then I'll know I have divided this thing perfectly in two. You only want that center foundation to rotate, not to go up, not to go down, not to go sideways. Pretty doggone close. I'm going to try to do it better. I'll speed run through this part. Okay, that is really good. We know that thing is at a 45-degree angle now. All right, let's remove that big old pointer. I don't want to get rid of my line on my foundation piece. You know, at least one of those conduits got to stay there as a marker. Didn't want to do that. I just released it. Okay, that back piece conduit is my marker. We'll be able to recover that line later. There you go. I should have turned that the other way while I was there. I fixed it later off camera. And all I have to do is just make a plus sign again. It's funny how with the conduit there, the pieces did not want to snap where the conduit was laying over the edge. So I had to very carefully re-snap conduit and unsnap conduit and get it out of the way. Okay, we have 8 sides of our curved floor, a semblance of a curved floor. We're insinuating a curve with squares. Okay. Now let's see if we can subdivide again. I think you're getting the idea. Now, while I'm doing this part, I want to talk to you about something. There are some places where the collision, the build collision, is lessened. Sean Keaton and I have been discussing this, and we'd like to invite you in on it. There are some places where you can snap easier than others. Let's get that centered a little bit better. This is not one of those places. Out at Nordhagen Beach, I was able to use all wooden floors to do what I'm about to do here. in a few minutes. But here it would not allow it. And it could be that I was in the sand, or the bushes had risen up through my construction and they relieved some of the collision. But we're looking for places where it seems that the collision is lessened. And it may be, if we find out where those places are, and we can find them in every settlement, we can have places to build that break the rules of collision. Since I couldn't put a wooden floor, I put this, what is this called? Slocum's Joe floor, which seems to snap to every doggone thing, because I'm here to make circles. I'm not here to figure out why stuff isn't snapping or the collision is too harsh. Yep, the Slocum's Joe red and white floor seems to ignore most of the collision rules. Okay, I'm going to finish it up with these Slocum's Joe floors. And you can tell they're at the exact same level because of the shimmering. Now, if you want to fix the shimmering, before you add the in-between layers of floor, you have to raise that center support, that center foundation piece just slightly, so that the intermediate pieces are a little bit higher, or lower it just slightly, and then you won't have the shimmering. And by the way, somehow I moved my center foundation. I'm a little bit off, and I mean just a fraction off. The beautiful thing is, if it really bothers me, it's easy to do it again, because this didn't take long at all. Except let's take a look at the daytime. I'm sorry about the nighttime view. It's raining though. Okay, so the shimmering floors. But there it is. We made a circle. We made a circle. And all we had to do was rotate the centerpiece and guide the floors out from that. We rotated the fence posts and guided the fence rails out from that. You can make your own circles anytime you feel like it. Friends, thank you for joining me. I want you to have a fantastic day. Bye-bye now.